Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight, we have Roy Clark, and this is going to be a young Roy Clark. This is his performance of 12th Street Rag, and it's from the Jimmy Dean show, which I'm sure you guys over there in the USA know a lot more than I do. But let's get Roy up on screen and see how he gets on.
1, 2, 3.
I'm just going to jump in here because there is so much going on. What gets me about this performance is the fact that Roy is so entertaining, and sometimes he's crossing his eyes and making stupid faces, and even the comedic parts of this playing are actually really technical. The way that he slides up and down the string, that you get a classic sound like you do on cartoons, everybody laughs out at that point, but technically to get that and to execute it, to get it to sound like that is actually really technically difficult. Another thing that Roy does there, he does those sweeps of chords. Again, one of those techniques that a lot of rock and metal guys will know, the sweeping, the raking across of strings all at the same time, kind of following note by note. A really technical thing to be doing. But because Roy is throwing it in with the comedy, people probably don't realize how difficult this is to pull off. Also, the alternate picking going on. Right at the beginning of the piece, you can see that alternate picking really going crazy, but the synchronization is always spot on. Listen to the tone as well, nowhere to hide, so it has got to be spot on in order to hear all of these notes. But it's just the fact that this is so comedy driven, but it is so amazing, the playing going on. If you play guitar, you'll know exactly how difficult these techniques are and how much Roy would have practiced to get it down to this extent, to then be so comfortable that then you can start to have a bit of a laugh with it. How many players do you see on YouTube who are really technically gifted, but they sit there looking at their guitar, focusing on exactly what they're doing, and there's no entertainment about it whatsoever? It's just all just playing. Whereas Roy has got that ability to play at the same technical level as some of the really top guys that you'll see. But Roy is putting comedy into it, and he's just got it mastered to such an extent that he can start being stupid whilst doing all of these technical gymnastics on the fretboard. But let's get into a little bit more. We're going to be having some really strict strumming coming on here, with Roy really starting to speed up with that right hand, more just strumming a few strings at a time here, but then he gets into even more. But let's have a little look at some more of his playing.
Banjo. This part.
And there we go, there it is. You can't help but smile throughout that whole performance because of the entertainment, but breaking it down into the techniques as well. Roy is so accurate with his slides here, not only getting for, well, comedic effect, but also there are little passages where he does slide up and down on that high E string where he's really being so accurate with his playing and those slides, because they've got to be that accurate in order to make sense in their composition, in order to get up to those notes. If you didn't nail those slides, that part of that track would sound a little bit off, a little bit out of key, and then you'll get back into the rest of the playing. But then he's got so much in here. There's little chord shapes there that he throws together that just mimicking the banjo. We know that if you don't know, Roy plays absolutely pretty much everything with a string on it. So excellent banjo player as well. And just crossing over those techniques to electric guitar here. The thing that impresses me the most is the level of technicality that he's got to his playing in single notes. You'll find that a lot of players, I did a video on Dick Dale, who was one of those early guys who threw in alternate picking, and then other guys then started to add the note per pick like you get shredding nowadays. So it impresses me so much, Roy's ability to effectively shred on this really clean tone, but to get it so clear, so concise, one note per pick with really fast alternate picking. Right at the end there, Roy really starts pushing the tempo on that alternate picking as well. And there's a comment on this video actually that says 18 notes per second is what Roy's doing. That hasn't been verified, it's just a comment, but that, I wouldn't be surprised if that is true, because Roy is alternate picking at the kind of speed you get from hard rock and metal guitarists. They all pick around that kind of 16, 18, 20, 22, around that kind of ballpark for seriously face-melting speeds. So Roy's doing that in a context of having a laugh and just being so clear and clean with that tone as well, but also the fact that he's mastered it so well that he can start to put personality and comedy into the performance as well. That's something that a lot of players never ever get to that stage. They just hit their maximum at the technicality of what they're playing and then don't have any space in their mind to do anything other than play. But Roy has absolutely got so much space free to have a laugh, go cross-eyed and just joke around. But we've seen that with Roy in other videos that I've done when he's playing with Glenn Campbell as well. Just really top technical players that have all these techniques down to such an insane level, and a lot of people who don't listen to country music might never have heard of these guys, but hopefully by putting them on this channel they'll get a little bit more coverage just to show how good they were. I mean, Van Halen asked for lessons from Roy Clark, so it gives you an idea how good he was, that people like Van Halen look up to him in terms of his technical ability on the guitar. But anyway, this is just a short one, 2 minutes 19 this video. I'm going to put the link to this in the description below so you guys can check it out if you want to. Thanks for suggesting this video for me to take a look at, and keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys at the next one. Rock!